Hey guys, this is Justin with Xtra Construction, and today we're going to go over the top 10 questions that we usually receive, either from people who are looking at either using us or just interested in knowing a little bit about us. So first one is, what's the background of Xtra and myself? So I am second generation general contractor. So my dad started the company in 2016, and about 5 years ago, I actually took it over with my wife Jenna, and we work together. So we have a contracting side of it, which is basically, a lot of our friends and people in the trade, we've known each other. I actually grew up with most of our subcontractors and trade partners and even team members that we have today. So another question that we get is, who will be on site and what does our team look like? So our team, actually, we typically have about 7 people on staff, and there's usually 3 people in the office organizing everything from selections, onboarding new customers, doing follow-up with with customers that have been with us and that we're finishing up their projects. And then also we have the design side of what we do, which is what personally I think a lot of people love about our company. And we also partner with trade partners that I call them interdependent trade partners, because without them, I can't do what I do. And without me, a lot of them wouldn't be able to get the cool design work and the time that they need to do good, cool custom things. And then with that, we have from electricians, plumbers, and drywall trim guys and tile setters. We usually have about 25 people that are actually currently working on our project. You're on a project together or projects together. What does a timeline look like when we get started on a project? So typically it takes me or my team about a week and a half to a week to get to your project first off and see it firsthand on site. After that, it takes about a week to 2 weeks to get an estimate. And then from there, we usually, if we're a good fit for each other, we'll usually go into a design agreement or straight into the contract. If we go into the design agreement, it usually takes about 2 weeks to a month to get all those designs finalized, depending on the project. And then from that, that's actually when the timeline truly starts, is when we have all the selections exactly narrowed down and we don't have any questions on who's doing what or the scope of work. And then from that point, for example, bathrooms usually take about 2 months, like a month to 2 months to get going. Kitchen remodels usually takes a month to 3 months to get going. And then anything, basements and things like that usually take about a month to get going. And the reason why that is because we're actually waiting for products. After COVID, a lot of things changed in our industry of how fast we can get things, the availability of materials. And so we use that as a buffer time to make sure that when we start your project, we do not want to stop and wait for anything. And sometimes it still happens, but we try to eliminate that as best as possible. Next question I get is, how do your payment plans work? So basically, if you're doing a design agreement, it's 15% down of whatever the believed budget to be for that project. Rather, if it's a bathroom that's 35,000 to a basement 75,000, or a kitchen at 90 or $150,000. And then we usually, after that, we'll do the design time, and then we'll do a 50% down of the overall cost that's left on the project. And that kind of varies depending on the type of project. And then every time something is completed, for example, if we're doing a bathroom, the plumbing gets completed, the electrical gets completed, drywall trim, each one of those has an amount set to finance your project for you. And the other thing that I would like to mention about that is that we do offer financing through third-party investors, and I'll get more into that maybe when we talk to you in time on investors. Third-party more lenders, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's keep going here. What will the work routine look like? So that's a great question. Our project management system, CoConstruct, that we use, actually has a schedule that is made and is live that we try to update as much as possible. And it typically doesn't look like someone there like every day, right? So it depends on the project, to be honest. So you might have to ask the guys a little bit more about it once, when if it's a bathroom, typically we're there the first 2 weeks really every day, and then we have inspections for 2 weeks, and then we're back on it, getting our guys there. And our typical work hours are 7:30 in the morning till 6 at night. And of course, that always varies with depending on what's being done on your project. Another question I get is, can everything be in writing? Every selection, every detail. The answer to that is yes, we do our best. We have an online project management system that literally we try to track every meeting from the very first time you contact us all the way to the final payment. Everything is typically documented, every change order, everything is documented, and you're actually able to see it through your own portal. Who gets the payments? Extra Mile Construction itself gets the payments and then pays everybody else through that, right? And that's one of the ways that we're able to keep a high quality product, is that we're able to use that as leverage when there is a question or something that needs to be adjusted during the course of the project. Another question I get is who will protect the property, who moves the stuff out, all that stuff. So like who prepares for the project. So shortly stated, everything that you own that's in that space needs to be moved out. Sometimes if it's a basement, we can put in a mechanical room or a bathroom. We'll put it typically we'll put it in another bathroom or something like that, but the homeowner is actually responsible for a lot of those things. I mean, when it's something heavy, like we moved a piano the other day, things like that, we will help when it's really heavy, but I don't promise that we can do that every time. And then after that, we do put plastic down. We try to poly off. What we do has so much dust, and we do our best to follow up with that. The other question I get is typically, like, how do we settle disputes? So that is a really good question. Unfortunately, disputes do happen among homeowners and contractors, and every job that we have do have some challenges that we face. Either if it's material, the city wants a ton of information, contractors, kids getting sick and things like that. So to be honest, what we really try to do is we try to have upfront communication through our project management system, so everything is written out, and that the expectation between you and our company is clear. So we try to do our best to have terms and conditions that are both agreed on by both parties, and so that as we go through the project, you can have a peaceful experience. And when it comes to things happening, it really we communicate it through. And I hope those things answered some of the questions about us, and look forward to getting to know you guys.